fun, amazing live today. So super exciting, super exciting. Let me fix you guys down here. I'm actually cheating. Sorry. Hey, welcome, everybody. So, TD Sparkle talking about transgender issues and non-binary topics today. Starting shortly. So it's still a little early right now. So give it a couple more minutes. I get my setup here too. Don't you see? I thought you guys falling on me. Oh my gosh, how dare y'all? So I am kind of cheating. I have two cameras down here, so I'm trying to get the other camera set up. But yes, welcome guys, welcome everybody. Come on in. Seeing TD Sparkle live here talking about again the transgender issues and concerns, and then the non-binary spectrum. So non-binary spectrum is quite huge. So let's try to give you guys a better understanding of what that is. And then we're also going to discuss a little bit about the flags, the colors, and what they mean. So stay tuned. Set up the other camera. Don't you know? What you see. Welcome everybody. How you guys doing today? So happy Wednesday. Super exciting. Super excited. Thank you so much for the compliment, Lindsay. Appreciate it. Thank you. Hi. So again, going over some usual stuff that TD Sparkle talks about, answering questions, but I might not answer a lot of the questions right away. So I'm focusing on, the transgender concerns, and just going to discuss some of the hardships we go through and the things I do to help my community have a better understanding of non-binary and transgender. Welcome everybody, how's it going out there today? Happy Wednesday. So January 31st, and last day of January, oh my gosh. So we get February coming around. I think it gets the camera a little bit here, down a smidge. A little bit better, yes, a little better. Not so better. How'd that happen? That's why I start early. It just does it too, so that's why I'm early to fix these little snafus. Yeah. Sorry guys, I appreciate it. Yeah. Hello everybody, welcome. Yeah, do share the live. It's a super, super amazing live. Again, going over some of the transgender issues and my experience with my journey and the hardships that I've come across. And then we're going to go over non-binary spectrum because non-binary is quite a huge spectrum. And going over the flags, the colors of the flags and what they mean. So we'll be starting shortly here. 9 more minutes. We'll get on with the topic. But thank you so much for joining me and logging on in. Appreciate you guys for being here. You guys didn't know, I'm out here in the Las Vegas area. So it's beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And yeah. And I do quite a few different things out here. So mostly in the sales and marketing and promotion for different events and venues. But I also work really, really hard with Transpride and a charity organization that helps raise money for a bunch of different organizations here in Las Vegas. So I will go over that a little bit as well, and the title that I hold. How's everybody doing out there today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everyone doing? Welcome, guys. Hey, come on in. Hey, Santana. Welcome. Hi. How are you doing today? Welcome. Thanks for the likes, guys. Appreciate the likes and the love. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. So, if you didn't notice, I'm not in my usual space. I'm actually out at it's not even an LGBTQ bar. It's a sports bar, and they're LGBTQ friendly. So they're very, very polite and awesome. So it allowed me to be here in their space to do this video with you guys. A little bit different than my usual topics or my usual, format with you guys. But if you guys are hanging out for the full hour, do stay tuned afterwards because I have my real talk with Gigi Sparkle, and then I will go ahead and answer all your questions about any of the concerns or issues that or things that you find hard to ask other friends or other people. It's a safe space here. I'll answer the majority of the questions. We do have to keep those questions in the PG-13 realm. But yeah, I'll go ahead and answer those questions for you guys. But I want to try to hold off the questions till 6 p.m. Eastern time. All the crew, like, little chill music going on, right? Thank you for stopping by, Santana. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. See here. And do go ahead and share the live. Get the live out there. Sharing it out a little more. Get some more shares out here. Yeah, do invite your friends, people who might have questions. How's everybody doing today? Welcome, guys. How's everyone doing out there today? So, here's a beautiful sunny day. It's already like 70 degrees outside. That's why I love Vegas, And the wintertime, it's nice and warm. Totally love it. Wow, so noisy and ratchet over there. We'll get started with the conversation and topics here shortly. 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes. We'll go ahead and start the conversation about the transgender community, concerns, and hardships that we go through. So that'll be the first portion of um, the conversation here. So yeah, welcome all you guys over. Come on over. Hey, welcome. How you doing, Samantha? Thanks for stopping by. Hello, hello. Good. I am Gigi Sparkle. We're going over some of the transgender issues today, and we're going to discuss a little bit more about the non-binary and the whole spectrum, because there's a lot of misunderstanding about the non-binary spectrum. So we'll go over that a little bit as well. It's a really laid-back music, man. It's kind of nice. I like it. I don't listen to this music regularly or anything, so it's kind of nice to have a different pace of music. Very nice. Thank you, Samantha. Appreciate it. Thank you for hitting the FYP. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. 2 more minutes. Hey, 2 more minutes. Really dehydrating. It's like so dry out here today. The only drawback to Nevada is the dry weather. I'm in charge. Hey everybody, welcome. I'm Gigi Sparkle. We're shining on here, going over the transgender concerns, issues, and a topic, and the hardships. So yeah, yes, I am transgender. I've been on my journey for the past 2 years, and I don't have a lot of crazy stories that you might hear out there, but it's not anything new. It's not like a crazy fad. Most people in the transgender community know that they're just not in the right body early on in their lives. They already know. Like for myself, I knew it when I was 4. A lot of people realize 4, 5 to 7, and a lot of times they don't get to go through the transition early on because of the parents not understanding or the fears of them being ridiculed or picked on in schools and things like that. So I know for myself, like my mom and my dad, try to keep me as the birth gender because they were concerned. My mom, when I was 13, told me the story of one of my cousins in New York who was transitioning, and she was beaten and sadly beaten to death outside the school in the alleys. So I can see why my mom was really concerned about that. For myself, I'm really worried about me and my transitions, my femininity growing up. It's not something that generally comes on at a later in life. It's a feeling internally where you feel So I've talked to a couple people who have this similar experience. So a lot of these things are going to be just from my perspective, my experience, but some of the other women or men that I've talked to in their transition have similar experiences where they'll have dreams uh, where they feel like they're from somewhere else, like they're not in the right body. They're just placed in the body to protect them or just to keep them safe. Um, but one of the things that I realized too, for that the spirit or inner self doesn't have a gender. Like God themselves is genderless. So we have, but there is still feminine energy and masculine energy. And the Native American tribes here in America have something that's called the Two Spirit, which is, has equal masculine and feminine energies. And a lot of times for those cultures, they tend to be the shamans in the group because they can empathize with both genders and help talk them through certain things or help coach them through. So they're actually raised up in their community as someone extremely special. But of course, we don't really get that in real life for other communities and other races, and it's a little bit harder. Uh, a lot of times, we are ridiculed and shamed upon and spat at and, beaten up on a regular basis for just trying to be true to ourselves. Like, we're not trying to impose anything on anybody else. It's just that we really feel like the body is not who we are. It doesn't represent who we are. So, my experience. So I was always growing up and felt like I never belonged. It felt out of place, and that everything was just wrong. Everything is just wrong. I'd look in the mirror and just could not look into my own eyes staring in the mirror. It was really difficult. And I had that disdain about myself where it's just, and when I look in like my older photos when I'm smiling, like the smile seems fake. And like when you look in my eyes and in my older photos, it's just, there's nothing there. It's like hollow. But I realized the more I transitioned, the more real my smiles were and more alive my eyes looked. And it's kind of weird because even when I was decided to go full-time female, that was in 2022, July-ish. I started being a full-time female. So I got a job on the strip and selling bath products, and yeah, I went to work. Um, but like even still looking at those photos, you can see the smile getting bigger, but like there's still something missing. And I realized when I started my estrogen is when the smile and my eyes were really just ecstatic and happy and proud of who I am. And now like I'm able to look in the mirror and look into my eyes and actually see life behind my eyes and see joy. And I've gotten so confident in myself and just actually joy in who I am, where I'm able to spread that joy and love to the people around me. It's really euphoric at being able to experience that whole adage where you can't give love to anyone else until you love yourself. So that is like so true. I am able to share kindness and love to so many different people like come around me. I get strangers coming up to me and just be like saying thank you. And I'm like, for what? I'm not doing anything, but like they just feel joy when they see me smiling because I'm always so peppy and happy and smiling. I get complete strangers coming over to me just to talk to me because I give such positive and happy energy. And they're like, I just had to be near you because you're just so vibrant. I'm like, oh, hi. So my life has been so much easier and smoother since I've accepted who I am and started my transition and change. And my change wasn't like necessarily like my choice, because again, like it's just who I am internally. The outer shell, the body is just a shell. It's just that. Um, we are not this. Our inner self is who we are, and I find it sad that a lot of people want to hate and push anger towards us for just trying to be happy in our own lives. Like, a lot of people say, like, you only get the one life, right? So why not live it happily and enjoy our time here, right? Um, so I don't understand a lot of times when people just don't want to be kind to their fellow humans, fellow man, fellow woman. Um, and that's something I like to try to spread out there, is that joy and happiness to everybody. Uh, but again, it's not easy. This isn't an easy choice to do. Transitioning is not easy. Um, there's the hormone replacement therapy, that takes time, and a lot of times, like, it's not just something that's just randomly given to us. Um, we do have to go through therapy to verify that this is truly who we are, who we want to be. Um, so it's not something that's just, that, again, readily and easily just handed out just because somebody says that they're a different gender, or that they want to be a different gender. Like, for me, it doesn't even have to do with wanting to be a different gender. I just want to be happy with who I am, and I would love for my gender to match my soul, my inner self. Um, it's, sorry, it's kind of hard because I've always never really been happy with, again, myself. Like, it just never worked out for me, and the parts were extremely dysphoric. Extremely, like, for you guys who don't understand dysphoria, it's the exact opposite of euphoria. It's feeling of unease and out of place. You just aren't happy with the situation, and for us, it's our gender. We can't feel, the sense of euphoria because we just feel like we don't belong and we don't fit in anywhere. Um, it's something that's extremely hard to deal with, but being able to go through this transition, and it really is not easy. The body's changing on you, the hormone changes, the fluctuations in the hormones and the emotions. Um, it's definitely not something that's easy. So again, my experiences, and just trying to help you guys have a better understanding of what we go through, and on a day-to-day basis for some of us as well. Um, some people have extreme fluctuations in their emotions. So for females transitioning to males, the testosterone boosts, it boosts hormones that cause anger or just aggression, and for them not be understanding that, you tend to have people, I'm sure you guys, some of you have experienced this with your teenage children. When they're going through puberty, they're lashing out, they're angry most of the time, and it's not their fault. It's just the boost in testosterone that does that. So you get a lot of the female to male transitions, they tend to be more angry and aggressive during their transition. But once you get past that first year, it tends to level out, and their normal personality starts to show through. And for myself, doing the estrogen, for me, it just seems more happy, and I get more energy. Because I know, but the crying is definitely a huge thing. I've always been fairly sensitive. I cried during Lion King. I cried during Bambi. I cried during Aladdin. It was like, come on, Aladdin, really? But now those feelings and emotions just come out for almost everything, and it feels good because it's nice to not have that machismo where you can't show emotions, and it's wrong for you to show emotions. That's actually kind of pushing down the psyche. It's actually really bad for um, men in general. That whole machismo thing where you're not allowed to show emotion, you have to be strong. That's actually hurting society and hurting men as they grow. You have to be able to let those emotions through, and you have to be able to let yourself feel these emotions, because that's the best way to cope with them and move past the situation, is to actually feel it and then release it to let it go. Uh, I do attribute that more towards my happiness now, being able to just feel feelings. It's so awesome, and just be able to just release those pains and come back and just be like, hey, all right, I'm good. I can cope with that now. Um, uh, and there's so many different things that cause more harm. Like, again, the societies, certain people just not understanding or wanting to understand. Like, they just push their opinions on you and put you in a box, and they don't have an understanding. And that fits in a lot with the non-binary spectrum, because people will just automatically assume something without even bothering to ask a question. So I know, like, me growing up, um, I was always pointed out as, as being gay, and I was like, I've never felt gay. I just felt extremely feminine. So even now, like, I still don't feel gay. I just feel like, it's just who I am. Um, and it's hard when people are trying to put you in a box that doesn't necessarily honestly fit who you are. And we get that a lot with the transgender community, because I experience this like almost every single day, where we're fetishized. So even here on TikTok, I get messages from people who want to just fetishize me and send me dirty messages in the chats or in my DMs. Um, and in my mind, it's kind of sick, because again, they're just assuming things, that all of us are just sex addicts and just obsessed with. This is just for educational purposes, but obsessed with pedophilia. And sadly, the majority of us seriously don't have any inkling of any of those things. Like, not every transgender is an escort or in prostitution. And that's a huge, huge stereotype, and it's really disgusting, to be honest. Like, and it hurts people trying to go through their transition, because every time you step outside, you're glanced at, looked at, or you get catcalls from guys just thinking, or you get offers. The offers when guys just drive up and stop their cars just to throw an offer at you on the side of the road. Like, it's really disgusting and sad that they think everyone's in that field of work. And no, we're not. Like I said, I am a professional in business and sales and marketing. I don't even fathom doing that sort of thing. Is that I do see that, Joanne. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm extremely more alive. I actually get to live my life and be free and be happy with who I am. It's amazing. Um, um, yes. There's nothing wrong with having a prostate exam, but that's also if you have the genitalia. So there's another example of assumptions. So a lot of people are just assuming things. There are surgeries that get rid of the genitalia, so you can be a full female. And I've already had that. And prior to the surgery, you have to have that prostate exam. And I've had my colonoscopies, and but all genders have to have a colonoscopy. But yeah, I don't need a prostate exam anymore because there's nothing there. Um, so again, perfect example of people just assuming things and not asking questions. Um, and that's part of the sickness of our society. They don't want to understand. They just want to put you in a box, and it's sad. Um, we have to learn to ask questions or be more kind to everybody else around us, and get past our egos to, again, be kinder to our fellow humans, be kinder to the people around us, and be more understanding of other people's emotions and feelings. Um, so, a little story. This just happened Monday night. Um, so, that's a loaded question for women in general, or it's not even in general. It's not really a general question. So, we got Brandon asking, do women look at you as another woman? Um, that's a matter of perspective, because I get plenty of women who accept me as being a woman. And I know from my personal experience, I've not come across any woman who doesn't see me as a woman. Um, so again, it's a matter of perspective and their closed-mindedness if they don't want to accept you as who you are. Um, so back to my experience on Monday, and I know women get this regularly as well, but it is it's a sad sickness, because people just think it's okay to just come up to you and just grope you and touch you and grab you, and that is definitely not okay. And there was a cis woman in the establishment as well, and the gentlemen were rubbing up against her between her legs, and she was like, "Excuse me, you know, that's a lot of touch there." It's like, that's rude, and I was stepping in too and being like, that is extremely disrespectful. So it's like, why would people think that's okay? And yet again, that's coming from the hetero cis male. It also happens with cis women. It's not one-sided. It happens with both genders doing it and being overly aggressive and not asking questions if it's even okay to approach them or to talk to them. But so yeah, there's a pair of gentlemen, and as soon as they came up to sit next to me, one gentleman was already like rubbing against my leg and sat down next to me. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's an accident. Not a big deal." And then later on, a few minutes later, he scoots closer to me and he's like, "You're extremely beautiful." I'm like, "Thank you, I appreciate the compliment." And then he starts grabbing me on my buttocks, and I was like, "That's not okay. One, you didn't ask, and two, it's just, again, disrespectful. Why do you guys think that's okay to do to anybody?" Like, and again, that's not. It happens on both sides of the spectrum. Women do the same thing too. It's not just the male sex that does that. Because when I was a male, like, I've had women do that to me too. It's like, it happens on both sides, but it's just really disturbing that people can't start a conversation and ask questions if it's all right to touch somebody, especially touching someone that's invading their personal space. And I get that a lot more being my authentic self, being female, and it does cause a lot of trauma for transgender women because they're not used to it. They don't grow up with that harassment through school and through high school. So it's an extremely different experience, and it can be extremely traumatizing at the same time. So you get a lot of people in transition who just become reclusive and are afraid to go outside because they just don't want to be harassed. I know I prefer to go to like a regular bar, not the LGBTQ spaces, because I'm least likely to get hit on. But this was a normal bar where this happened, and sadly enough, eventually, they were kicked out and were arrested for harassment and assault. Because it's not okay, and people have to realize that it's not okay. So it's the the sisters in Las Vegas, the organization called the Sin City Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. They have an acronym to help out with education on personal space. So it's a little bit of a joke with the name of the acronym. So it's called GAG, and so it means gauge the situation, approach respectfully, ask if it's all right to have a conversation with them or be close to them, and then either get in, stay and enjoy the conversation, or get out, depending on the person that you're asking is open to the conversation or open to the touch on the arm or the touch on the thigh. But again, you gauge a situation, approach and ask. The most important thing is asking and getting permission, getting consent. And like I said, it's really disgusting that people don't want to bother getting consent before they're that prude. And sadly enough, I get this every day, but I don't let other people's experience upon me change who I am and how happy I am. Like before they got kicked out of the bar, I gave them multiple chances to be respectful and to step it back a little bit, tone it down. And like the bartender was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm good. I'm perfectly fine. I can handle this. It's okay." But they got more touchy-feely, they got more aggressive, and that's what led to them being kicked out. And then on the topic for the escort services, again, we don't all do that. It's really disgusting that people will see someone dressed nice and just assume that they're working. I don't know. The bigger issue with society is that, again, they're not being kind to other people. They're not being respectful of other people. And that leads me towards the non-binary spectrum. So again, people are always just assuming. They're putting you in a box without even understanding where you're coming from, not understanding your experience. So just because they're non-binary does not mean that they're LGBTQ. Well, except for the Q part, they might be very queer because that's how they're presenting. But it does not mean that they're gay, lesbian, or transgender. There's a non-binary umbrella is really big. So you got it's gender fluid, asexual, which is like no gender at all. They're just a person. And you have gender queer, where you're just very effeminate in your presentation. But just because you're representing as an effeminate or non-binary does not mean that they're gay or transgender. I know when I started off with my transition, I was recognized as non-binary, mostly because I didn't know what that was originally. But my oldest child came up to me and expressed to me that they were non-binary, and I was like, "Cool, what is that?" I was like, "That's awesome. What are you trying to tell me?" So I did some research on what non-binary was. I was like, "Oh, okay, I can respect that," and I'm like, "That's awesome. Good for you." Like actually knowing who you are. And she was afraid to come up to us because we were Roman Catholic, but we're we're a loving family. Like family comes first above anything else. Religion, family. We have to have that tight-knit connection and have our children understand that us as parents are there for them no matter what, because that is our duty. We had them to begin with, so we have to guide them and be there for them. But that doesn't mean that we have to stop them from being who they are, unless it's malicious. But yeah, so I started off as non-binary, still extremely hetero, just extremely very gender fluid and queer in my presentation. Not not transgender, not gay. Um, but during my exploration of who I am, um, I just was like, this being a male is not who I am. I still feel really icky and like I don't belong and out of place. So, like, so I started my non-binary journey in October 2021, and then around July of 2022, I went full time, 24/7 female, and that's when my true joy and happiness came out, and where I was able to actually look at myself in the mirror and say, "I love you." And there are so many people who cannot do that without crying. Um, but yeah, there's so many people cannot look at themselves in the eyes, in the mirror, and say, "I love you." They can't tell themselves that they love themselves. And how are you supposed to love anybody else if you can't love yourself first? So when I started that transition, I was like, this is amazing. I actually feel joy, like true joy and happiness. And I thought I had that before when I had kids and got married, and like, it's completely different. It's like so, again, euphoric. It's amazing. Actually, it's not mental illness. If you do your research and studying, yeah, it has nothing to do with mental illness. I do take care of my mental health. I do see a psychiatrist weekly, and I do promote people using BetterHelp. I'm not sponsored by BetterHelp, but I do recommend because it's a really good app because it's readily available to everybody, and you can find somebody who thinks like you and has similar beliefs as you to help guide you through your mental traumas or past traumas. But yeah, mental illness has nothing to do, like your mental state has absolutely nothing to do with your gender identity. It's internal, it's spiritual. Yeah, BetterHelp's amazing. Most insurances don't cover mental health, but BetterHelp is pretty much like $2 a day. So like $80, less than $80 a month, you can get a therapist to talk to you. And the nice thing about it is that sometimes you don't want a therapist who's in your community, especially if you have a small community, because gossip happens. But through the app, you can actually get somebody who's farther away, so you don't have to worry about people necessarily knowing your business. Another great thing is confession. The whole reason for confession in the Catholic Church is for mental health, because research shows that being able to talk about your problems and just have it release stress, and helps you be happier and live a happier life. And people who have the stress release live longer. So the people who have therapists or have somebody to confide in and talk to on a regular basis to just help them, get through the hardships, they actually live longer and happier lives. Another great thing about living a happy life is that positivity and being kind to others is actually less energy than being negative and depressed. It takes a lot more energy to have a frown on your face or a blank face or to be depressed. That's why most depressed people are lethargic and don't have the motivation to do anything. But when you're happy and you're joyful and positive and smiling, it takes less energy to smile. It takes less energy to be happy and joyous. And I believe the reason being is that you're closer to God. You're closer to the source of energy, internal energy. Hey, how's it going, Jeremiah? Thank you. I love you too. Extremely happy, extremely ecstatic. I love spreading joy and kindness to everybody around me. And again, people gravitate towards me because this amazing smile. It's weird because I get so many compliments on my smile, and again, like I never had this smile before because I wasn't really truly internally happy or joyous, and now that I have my own internal love for myself, it's easier to spread that joy and kindness to people around me. So you get a lot of placing in bubbles and boxes, and people just stereotyping or assuming things. And it's kinder to just ask questions. So like if you think something, like ask them, don't assume. And you know that's what they say about assuming things. Come on, right? Or even like Einstein's thing of someone who's someone who repeats the same thing over and over again, right? Um, so yeah, so the non-binary bubble. So we have gender fluid, gender queer, not transgender, and not necessarily gay. So don't assume just because they dress or wear makeup that they're gay. Because again, I was never gay, and I still don't feel gay. Um, and then you have the ones that do identify as gay because, like, you know, sometimes, like I said, it's a crazy spectrum. So sometimes it's like the gender fluidity. So some days they'll feel like, you know, dressing more feminine or more masculine. It's just how they feel. But then you don't have to assume that they're transitioning because a lot of the time they're not. So you have the portion under the transgender umbrella, which tends to fit in more on the female spectrum, where they want to have the breast removed because they just want to feel very androgynous and just gender neutral. So sometimes like they'll identify as transgender because they're not, you know, fully female presenting, and they, you know, remove parts. But again, not everybody's gonna identify as transgender. So don't assume that. You know, ask questions. Don't be afraid to even ask them. Like a lot of the times they're super ecstatic to share their experience and to explain things to help educate other people on, you know, the non-binary spectrum or even who they are. And then the topic of, you know, the pronouns. That's just, again, a matter of respecting your fellow humans. Like loving thy neighbor is part of the commandments. You know, it's love thy neighbor. Be respectful and kind to your parents and your neighbors. Don't cast the stones. Don't judge. It's not our place to be judging anybody. That's God's role. It says so like over a dozen times in the Bible. Don't judge anybody. It's not our place to judge. So yeah, ask questions. So like if somebody's presenting themselves very androgynous, hey, ask them, I'm curious, what are your pronouns? Or go up to them and, hey, nice to meet you, I'm so-and-so. What are your pronouns? Mine are, you know, so be kinder, be polite. Yeah, it did take me some time to, I always thought the weird one, a lot of the Gen Zers are using is, I'm it, just call me it. And it's not wrong, you know, but it is definitely unique, and I do know that a lot of times they are doing it to be rebellious, but hey, they're still a person. It's better to respect them as a person than to be a jerk and not respect them. Yeah. Again, like just being kinder to people is a much better way to live life than being negative and hateful and spiteful towards people. Non-binary spectrum. So yeah, there's of course gender fluid, gender queer. Gender queer is just somewhat, you know, feminine in your presentation. They wear the makeup. A lot of times it tends to be in the emo presentation. Again, gender fluid is just, you know, one day they wake up and they feel like they feel masculine, and so, you know, they'll wear blue jeans and a t-shirt, and the next day they're like, I'm feeling extremely feminine today, so maybe they'll wear a dress or maybe a skirt. You know, maybe they'll just wear pants and a shirt and heels. It's just how they want to express themselves. And there's definitely like nothing wrong with people wanting to be happy and enjoying their life and their time here on Earth for the short period that we are here. So Jack Canfield has a book, The Success Principles. In that book, there is a doctor who did a study, of a bunch of people, different religions, different backgrounds, different beliefs, who had passed away but had the near-death experience. They came back to life. And he would ask them, what did you experience in your near-death experience? And all of them, every single belief and background had the same experience. So, they saw the light, they're drawn towards it, and they were asked 3 specific questions. Oh, shoot. I should pull these questions up so I get them right. I apologize. I should have had this up ready. I didn't think about this until now. I had a different format. Let me pull up the questions here. These questions are, as it loads, how did you utilize the time that I gave you? What wisdom did you gain from your life experience? And this is like the one that hits me the most. How have you expanded your capacity to love? That one hits hard. What do you do to expand your capacity to love? That opened up my eyes to the true meaning of life. Because God is love, and He only created us to spread more love. It is our duty to, the only reason why we procreate is because we are in love with somebody. And then you have the children that you love. So you're expanding your capacity to love by procreating and just embracing the people around you and being kind to your neighbor, being kind to your spouse, being kind to your children. The whole purpose is expanding your capacity to love. So all of them were asked those 3 specific questions. Sure, like I believe he only asked 70 people, is in the 70 range, so it wasn't a big study, because he's in one hospital. It wasn't a national study or anything like that, but the whole purpose was all of them had the same questions. Atheists, Jewish, Christians, Catholics, all of them were asked the same 3 questions. And not like they conversed with everybody, with each other, and plotted it out or anything like that. So, I truly believe that's our purpose in life, is to expand our capacity to love. So that's why I always say, my lives, be kinder, spread joy. I always give a task at the end of my lives to go out there and anybody, the next person you run into, Jack Canfield actually tells you to do this in one of his books. But like he says, the next person you see, find something that you're actually fascinated by and give them a compliment. So you're like, oh my gosh, you have such amazing eyes, and smile and be genuine about it. Or like, oh wow, your hair looks so amazing. Did you do that yourself, or did you go to the salon recently? Like, be kind, genuine. Like, when you give somebody a compliment, it brings joy to their heart, and it helps them be happy internally. So I always tell you guys, go out there, be kind, find somebody and give them a compliment, because you don't know what they're going through. That one compliment can change their entire day. That one little compliment can change their entire week, possibly, because then at the end of the week they're thinking about that one person who said their shoes were totally awesome, and they're just like, oh, thank you so much. I just bought these shoes. They're $150, but thank you for liking the shoes that I worked so hard to have and get. So again, this is not an easy decision to change your gender and be happy with who you are. That's the only thing we really care about, is enjoying our life and our time that we have here. And the hate that some people get and the rude comments that people give, it does hit people at their heart, and it is extremely mean. Like for me, it doesn't bother me at all. Because why? Because I know who I am. I'm confident with who I am, and your comments have no effect on me because it's your opinion, it's your experience. Like I don't know where you came from in your background. So a lot of times, like for people who lash out and bully, it's because they had a rough background, some kind of hardship. So I'm not going to judge you. It's not. I, I don't know your experience. I don't know your past, but sadly enough, like that is a mental illness. You do need to seek help because you should not be belittling somebody else to make yourself feel better. That is definitely something mentally wrong, and that is something that was kind of cool that they did with the school system with their anti-bullying policies. And that's quite awesome because that is a step forward to help those bullies get through some traumas that they've experienced in their life. And it's sad that adults haven't had the opportunity to get the help they need to push past those traumas. And they're an adult and they're still acting like children, putting other people down and belittling other people. Yeah, that's not how life should be. That's not how you should act as an adult, as somebody who's supposed to contribute to society. You shouldn't be putting people down. I did a talk on this I think it was this past Monday, actually. No, the last Monday, about letting people go. Because realistically, your inner circle should be people that are lifting you up, helping you grow and become better. Your inner circle should not be somebody who's constantly negative and constantly putting you down. Not to say that you shouldn't have somebody telling you that certain things are a bad idea, but when they give you the bad idea, it should also give you some kind of positive insight, like a perspective that, oh, that's awesome, you want to do that, but have you thought of this? But then if you do that, then you could have this. Whatever your choice is, I support you. So yeah, the people in your inner circle should be lifting you up, not bringing you down. And I was telling you that it's okay to let them go. Just because you've known them since elementary school, high school, or the past 5 months doesn't mean that they're meant to stay in your life. Again, especially if all they do is criticize you and it's constantly negative and putting you down. That's definitely something, let them go. It's okay to let people go. And it's going to help you internally, and it's going to help you grow, and hopefully it'll help them grow by losing somebody that they might have really cared about. It's a little bit harder with family members or parents. So you want to put them at arm's length in a sense. So you don't want to let their negativity affect you. Yeah, that's just something that, I don't let negativity bother me. I always look to the positive. I always look to the bright side of things. And I attribute that to why my transition has been so smooth, because I am so joyous and happy. I'm not afraid to go anywhere. Like I said, this year I'm traveling a lot, and I traveled in the past too to all sorts of different places. And I love going on the planes and plane rides and going flying to different cities. I don't get anxiety like most people will get, because again, I'm confident with who I am. I know who I am, and your experience isn't going to change my perspective on humanity and on who I am.
Say hi to my friend right here.
Hello, this little puppy is there.
Come on.
So yeah, so just be kinder and spread your joy and love. So yeah, I'm traveling a lot this year. 11 states so far. I do have the subscriptions up here for helping me get to some other states that you guys have invited me to come to. So I would love to. I'd love to spend some time with you guys and meet with my followers and my fans. I love meeting you guys. It's always a blast. So I'm going to California, of course. So I'm in Nevada. It's not that far. Oregon, Utah, Idaho, New Mexico, Texas, Arizona, Louisiana, Georgia, Nebraska, and Alaska. So lots of traveling going on this year. But I have had some requests to go to New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and Ohio. And I would love to go to those states. I've actually never been to those states. So yeah, so I do have the goal up there for 200 subscribers because that's going to cover the airfare to get out there and back. I don't need anything else. I can cover food and lodging expenses. That's perfectly fine. I through my business and through the charity organization, I get that money back. Thirsty. I normally don't talk this much. I like interacting with you guys and answering questions on my live. So yeah, I'd love to get out there and see you guys in New Jersey. I've never been to New Jersey. I think that would be really awesome. Pennsylvania is a super beautiful state. Lots of history in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. What was the other one? Pittsburgh. Lots of history. Lots of history. Boston would be awesome. Massachusetts and Boston would be great. And then Ohio, I have one of my followers challenge me to a cook-off. So I got to get to Ohio to do this cook-off. And I'm going to do a live. I'll be live on the cook-off. We'll do the live. And if anybody's in the Ohio area, or not Ohio area, if anyone's nearby where I'm staying and near the cook-off, we'll go to a park somewhere and we'll do the taste test. Whose meal is better? It's kind of like a bias because they're two totally different dishes. We're not cooking the same dish, so I don't think it's a fair match, but it's definitely going to be a fun match. Definitely be fun. The meal I chose is something that it's easy to cook. It's like a 5-minute meal, but it's something that's super elaborate in a sense. So it looks harder than it actually is. So I'd love to show you guys how to cook this meal in 5 minutes. So super easy, super awesome. So we got about 12 minutes left. So we're gonna go on to the colors of the flags.
Asul, get out of there.
I know that's a huge misconception and misunderstanding.
Where are you going?
So starting off with the LGBTQ Pride flag. So like I said, I'm in a public establishment. The owners invited me to do my live here because it's an amazing spot. Again, it's not an LGBTQ bar; it's a regular bar, but they're allies in a sense. They're open to everybody, and so they like me to do my lives here or invite people to the bar because they want everybody. They're all inclusive. They're not going to shun anybody. But the pride flag, red stands for life. Orange stands for healing. The yellow stripe stands for new ideas. Green for prosperity. Blue for serenity. Violet for spirit. The black and brown are for people of color. White, blue, and pink for the trans community. And the yellow and purple for the intersex. So you have that yellow flag with the circle. It's for the intersex. In case you don't know what that is, it's people naturally born with some sort of both genders. So, they might have ovaries and a penis, or the opposite. So they're intersex in some form. But generally, their sex is chosen at birth by the parents or the doctor, which work best. And a lot of times, the intersex community tends to be transgender because their gender was chosen at birth, but when they grow up, they're like, I don't feel like this gender is right for me. So they'll want to transition to the gender that fits who they are. And again, that's another misunderstanding about the transgender community as well. They don't understand the intersex community. And also, yet again, the intersex community might not be LGBT. Just because they're intersex does not make them automatic transgender. It does not automatically make them gay. So stop assuming things and putting people in boxes. Ask questions. Just be kind. Um, we are on the non-binary flag. So that one's yellow, white, purple, and black are the colors for that flag. Hey guys, welcome. Sorry, I'm not saying hi. Like this is a different topic for me. Hey, so I'm just going through the education of the transgender community and non-binary. But I'll have my regular show right after this, Real Talk with Gigi Sparkle. We can go over the questions and the Q&A because again, I love giving you guys the opportunity to ask questions. I love interacting with you guys. Um, I love helping educate. So the white one represents all genders, so the gender fluid portion of the non-binary spectrum, the asexuals. The purple represents people who are gender fluid. So they go for whatever they're feeling that day or that hour type of thing. The black represents no gender at all. And then the yellow represents people whose genders are outside the binary spectrum. So again, kind of like that one's a hard one to actually explain. Again, the non-binary spectrum it's quite difficult, and I'm still learning myself. So there are classes out there. There are organizations that teach generosity and businesses and teaching people how to be less harassing and help people get a better understanding. For us out here, there was an organization called Gender Justice, and they held classes for the companies to either go to the facility itself or to hire them to go to their offices and teach them on kindness towards gender identity. And then lastly, the transpride flag. So the blue is for females transitioning to male. The pink is males transitioning to females, and the white is for the non-binary, the gender fluid, starting your transition journey. So like you're not necessarily on the hormone replacement therapy or you haven't had any surgeries, but you're just starting your journey. So that's what the white on the flag represents. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are totally awesome. Thank you so much for being here and joining me on topics on the transgender. I'm going to go over a little bit of what I do. So again, I do the marketing, sales, and promotion, but I also am part of a charity organization. So the main organization it's an international organization, and it's the Imperial Court System. And in each city that they're represented in, from Canada down to Mexico, they choose the charities that they want to raise money for. So for myself, I've been elected the first non-binary title in Las Vegas for the ICS. So here is the Imperial Royal Sovereign Court of the Desert Empire Incorporated. It's a 501c3 charity organization, and I am what's called elected Emprex. So we have the Emperor, the Empress, and I'm Emprex for the non-binary spectrum. The reason why I choose to represent non-binary is to help people have an understanding so my child can grow up and be an adult in a society that's respectful and understanding. That's the only reason why I bother even doing the charity organization, or else I just spend I wouldn't bother doing it. The only reason why I do it is so people can have an understanding, and so my child can grow up in a more respectful society. Because again, they came out to me first. I had no clue what it was. I still don't even know what transgender was at that time when they came out to me. The only reason why I started my transition was because they confronted me and said I needed to stop lying to myself. I didn't understand what they meant by that, but they're like, we see someone different in you. Like you're not you. You're you're more mom than mom is. You cook for us, you clean for us. That's very stereotypical.
Bye, people.
So it's very stereotypical.
Bye.
And yeah, it's stereotypical, but that's just how society paints women and paints men. The men do the hard labor work, and the women cook and clean. Very sexist and misogynistic, but that's still the society we live in, and so that's how they understood the differences between the genders. But yeah, they were just telling me like I need to stop lying to myself, and that I need to figure out who I am in a sense, right? So that night, I started reflecting on my past and who I was, and like there's so many different moments where I would attempt to be feminine and be myself, and of course my mom's just trying to protect me and keep me from being bullied, even though I was bullied anyway for being feminine or effeminate. But yeah, like she was trying to protect me, and that's why she told me the story of my cousin who was killed in high school. Like, I do deeply believe it's best to have the hormone replacement therapy before puberty or at the time of puberty to help prevent certain changes in the body, so you can grow up more fitting in the persona that fits your personality and who you are. Because I got facial hair that grows regularly every day that I have to shave to be sure that it's not stubbly, even though right now it is. That causes dysphoria. My voice isn't that soft at times, and I have to train myself to speak with a more soft voice or feminine voice. It's all these little things that could have been avoided with the hormone treatment at age 13, age 14. I wish I was able to do, but I'm happy with where I am and when I started my journey. Because if I started then I wouldn't have these 4 amazing, beautiful children who have a purpose in this world. They're here for a reason. And I'm so excited to see what that reason will be. But it's going to be amazing. So I wouldn't change anything, but I do wish that could have been a possibility. And which is why I'm big on transgender children's human rights. Human rights and equality is a huge thing. I fight for women's equality rights. Not necessarily for myself. I've been doing this for my mom as a woman of color. I've been a big supporter of women's rights as a child. This has nothing to do with my transition because, I can, right? I'm not a biological woman, but I am still a woman. But there's still also the equality thing that's not there. So either men can not show their nipples, or women should be fine having their nipples out. You can't have it being one-sided and being biased. It's ridiculous. They're the same thing. They both can produce milk. They both have glands, and of course the women's ones are more prominent, but there's still not anything sexual about them, and that needs to stop. The sexualization of the human body needs to seriously stop. It's ridiculous. And one way to make that stop is to stop hiding and being afraid of the human body. It's a beautiful thing. Like, all humans, all people are beautiful in their own right, in their own way. It's like, I guess I'm weird because I see everyone as beautiful, and I don't see bodies as being disgusting or gross. I think every person has a beautiful soul, a beautiful spirit, because the body is not the person. Their inner self, their spirit is the person. But again, that's just my perspective. And again, this is all my experiences, my journey, my life. So again, I thank you guys for being here. I am Gigi Sparkle. I am going to stay on for another hour because this is now Real Talk with Gigi Sparkle, where I go through and answer your questions. So I love talking to you guys and having conversations with you guys, and help and educate on the transgender community. It's definitely not an agenda. It's definitely not something that is. It's, it's kind of weird because it is a choice, but it's not purposely chosen. It's choosing to be true to ourselves and be authentic and to not lie. Most importantly, not lie to ourselves. So it's kind of weird. Thank you so much, Zoltar. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. You're beautiful too. Thank you so much. And hi, Dominic. Yeah, so I'm going to go back a little bit. I'm sorry I missed a lot of them. Again, I'm just helping educate and sharing my experience. So I appreciate you guys all being here and joining me on Spotlight with Starlight Sparkle. I'm transgender and non-binary. Appreciate you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna hang out and enjoy the music, and I'm here to answer your questions. This is a safe space, so ask any question you like. I will gladly answer, but it does have to stay in the PG-13 realm. If it's outside of PG-13, I will not answer. I'll just mute it and ignore it. So it does have to stay in the PG-13 space, because that is one of the first community guidelines of TikTok for the live channels and for the lives. So I do ask that you guys be respectful and towards the younger community and ask PG-13 questions. But yeah, I don't get offended by anything. I don't do offense because I know who I am and I'm extremely confident in who I am. So you can't offend me. It's not possible. So enjoy the music, enjoy the fun times. Whereas most people do, they enjoy my smile. I love you guys. You guys are so amazing. Remember, focus on yourself internally. Take some quiet time, pray, meditate, and tell yourself that you love yourself. It is okay to love yourself. It's more important to love yourself and know who you are so you can love others around you. So take that time. It is okay to feel and take that time. And in case you guys missed it, I am Gigi Sparkle. I'm here in the Las Vegas area. I do have a hashtag where's that Gigi? So if you use that hashtag or hashtag wild Gigi, it'll show you all of the places that I've been to that you might be interested in. So go ahead and check those places out. So I do promote a lot of the clubs, the bars, and hot spots here in Las Vegas. So if you guys want to go to a comedy show, let me know. I can get you guys tickets to Bush Bradley's show at the Strat, Brad Garrett's show at the MGM, Jimmy Kimmel's at the Link, Wise Guys in the Arts District, and the Griffith in Fremont Street. Yeah, if you guys want to see a show, let me know. Oh, and the Cellar at the Rio. And if you guys want somewhere to eat that's not going to break the bank and spend $100 for a plate, yeah, feel free to ask. I know a lot of eateries and off the strip that can help you save money and, again, not break the bank. And another thing, if you want to have a seat at the nightclubs, feel free to ask it, get you on the VIP list, because Las Vegas doesn't have seats in the nightclubs. You have to stand and dance the whole time. It can be quite irritating. So yeah, being on that VIP list gets you a seat, a bench, a booth, so you can relax your feet and have a good time, talk to your friends. Some of those do have bottle service requirements. So just let me know where you want to go, or if you want a bottle service, and I can get you guys hooked up. And then the fun thing is, if you manage to find the wild Gigi, come on over, say hi. I love talking to you guys. I love visiting with the followers and fans, and I love to take a photo with you guys. And then I post that on my social media with your permission and consent, and then it goes on there as a found Gigi. So hashtag a found Gigi. So I'd love to I'd love to run into you guys, have a good time, and again, chat, have a conversation. So this is a real talk with Gigi Sparkle, where I answer the hard questions, the questions that you might be afraid to ask your friends, relatives, anybody in the LGBTQ community. Yeah, this is a safe space. You can ask anything, and if it's within reason of me being able to answer it, I'll gladly answer it. If not, I will recommend you to send me a DM for a private, because this does have to stay PG-13, that per TikTok's community guidelines. So yeah, but again, I can't get offended. I don't get offended. I'm extremely confident and know who I am, so you cannot offend me. So ask the hard questions, and I'll again do my best to answer it. It is per my experience, other than ones that are like legal definitions of whatever, or Webster's definitions or whatnot. Encyclopedia. No. So right now I'm at the lovely Goat Sports Bar, 3805 West Sahara. This place is an amazing place to just catch a sporting game. We have the Golden Knights game, the hockey game, some basketball games going on, and of course we're gonna have the Super Bowl. How can't we? This is Las Vegas. We have the Super Bowl coming over here on February 11th. So yeah, we're gonna have that. It's definitely a safe space to come for all communities. So it's just not for one spectrum of community. And they have amazing bartenders. They're super polite and awesome people. If there weren't awesome people, I wouldn't be coming here. I wouldn't promote it. Yeah, so this is Goat Sports Bar. They invited me to do my live here with you guys today. So before the end of the show, I'll go ahead and walk around and show you guys the bar a little bit. So my transition started at 42, but I knew that something was off when I was 4. I didn't feel comfortable in my body when I was 4 years old. But yeah, I didn't start my transition until 42. Extremely late bloomer. But again, it's also due to my kids telling me that I need to stop lying to myself and stop hiding who I truly am. That was really weird coming from your own kids, but it was definitely eye-opening, and the whole journey in my life has been so amazing after my transitioning. And I don't know if this is just because I love myself more and happier, or no, it's exactly that. I'm happier, so things just come more naturally and freely. Of course, you're very welcome. Like I said, it's an open space, safe space to ask any question. I'll gladly answer it, as long as it stays within the community guidelines, it stays in the PG-13 realm. If you have something that you want to ask that's outside of that, feel free to DM me. I don't mind asking or answering any question, because I'm confident and know exactly who I am. Finally, you guys have no idea how free it is to actually know who you are and understand your place in society. It's so rewarding, so euphoric. Hi, how's it going, Shirley? Thank you for the compliment. Appreciate it. Love you too. Always remember, you are beautiful. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So you guys are here with Gigi Sparkle. This is Real Talk with Gigi Sparkle, where I'm here for your confidant to answer any question about the non-binary and transgender space. I don't really know the LGBTQ space that well, but yeah, I've gotten pretty good with the transgender space. Thank you so much. I appreciate the compliment. You're so amazing. Thank you. I don't think that's exactly the only reason how I'm able to do this. and be in front of you guys, it's because like I'm so happy and have enough love in myself and in my heart to be able to stay positive and happy and spread that joy to you guys out there. Or else, like, some of these guys would probably break me down, but nope, can't do it to me. I also think it's part of like my upbringing, dealing with so much negativity growing up and being stereotyped by teachers, the police, other other races. Because yeah, I've been bullied and criticized by every single race. There's good vibe music going on. I love it. This is awesome. It's kind of crazy too, because like when nighttime comes, Gigi Sparkle takes control of the music. We have a blast. And this is the bartender's choice. It's a good vibe. It's a good vibe. Appreciate you guys. So yeah, if you guys are hanging out and enjoying the live, I do invite you to follow the channel. I do lives 3 times a day. 1 a.m. is late night with GT Sparkle, where I'm just a big goofball and playing music and dancing with like disco elites. And I still answer questions. I always like to engage with the audience and engage with you guys. It just makes it more fun for me because I really don't like talking that much. So I like to just have a conversation with you guys. And then an 8 a.m. show where I just go over current events and news a little bit. That's at the 8 a.m. show. And then this one here, my 3 p.m. show, which is, these are all Pacific Standard Time because I am in Las Vegas. Yeah, this is the one where real talk with Gigi Sparkle, where this is the real, like, deep conversation ones because I've had a good share of questions on it already. I'm loving it. I'm having a great time. But for the most part, I'm an entertainer and actor. I'm a little more used to not necessarily talking or being an activist. I actually would prefer not to be an activist. I don't really like the attention. But the only reason why I do this, again, was for my child, my non-binary, to help them get to adulthood where they're respected. And that's the only thing, like, the only reason why I do what I do is to help people be more respectful to others and be kinder to other people. Watered down Coke, yay. My throat is so dry. The last segment, I'm pretty much talking nonstop. Then, yeah. Usually when I do a talk, it's like 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Talking for an hour is a little bit harder. So other things that I do, I've been a personal trainer since 1999, and a fitness instructor since 2001, and a nutritionist since 2013. So lots of years in the fitness and nutrition industry. So I do know a lot about exercising and foods and things that help your gut. And I specialize in lectin-free diets and the ketogenic diets. Those are my specialties. What else do I do? Like I said, I'm an entertainer. So I do still perform and dance and sing. I love singing and dancing. It was so fun. And gotten back into modeling and acting recently. So I have a film that's on Netflix and working on doing more movies. It's kind of nice being able to do a movie as Gigi. It's really awesome, and I look forward to doing more. Totally look forward to doing more, and doing the modeling is going to be doing more modeling because I do like ambassador modeling, no print modeling just yet. Thank you so much. You're so amazing, Shirley. Thank you for the compliments. You're so awesome. Thank you. So modeling, acting, dancing, and entertainment, and the charity work that I do. So again, the organization, it is our goal to raise over $30,000 this year. And part of that fundraising is me traveling the country. So yeah, I'm gonna be all over the place. Hey, John. Hey, John. Hi. I haven't seen you in a minute. So yeah, so I'll be traveling the country. So again, pay attention to that. Where's that Gigi hashtag and the wild Gigi hashtag? Because I'm definitely going to be blowing those up when I'm in the other states. And of course, you'll see when I'm out there because I'll still be doing my lives. So you'll be able to see when I'm traveling, what states I'm going to. My schedule might change because the time zones, and I might be in the middle of flying or driving during my usual scheduled lives, but I'll still do them when I can. And again, I'll advertise it ahead of time, or I'll put my video 30 minutes before I go live. My voice is dead. I can't. That's part of dysphoria. I definitely don't feel like I have the feminine voice at the moment. But it's who I am. I'm okay. I'll be right back. Jake, can I get more Coke, please? I'm back. Yay. Thanks for your patience, guys. I apologize. I just had to get a refill. I am really thirsty. I should have got water. I know better. So yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys being here. This is Real Talk with Gigi Sparkle. What is all this talking about? The different things I do. I'm done talking. Please ask questions. Oh my gosh. The charity work. That's right. So, I'm part of an organization. Our goals are at least $30,000 this year. Last year they did 19. So I really would like to make more money for the community because the money that we raise helps our local Transpride. It helps our local AIDS affiliates with AIDS prevention and AIDS awareness, and also because there's still so much misunderstanding on AIDS. Like, it's surprising how much people don't know about AIDS to this day. It's really surprising. And then raise money for LGBTQ students for summer camp. So this year we gave them $1,600. So sadly, that's only 4 children who can get to go to summer camp and not feel bullied or pressured by the other children. That's the reason for the LGBTQ summer camp, to help them just be free and not be afraid to be who they are. So that's it. I really love that organization. Like, they are so amazing. I've been a part of their organization from the start. I've volunteered for them, helping take the kids out to Discovery Zone, helping them raise money. So it's nice to have our organization raise money for them as well. So yeah, I'd love to give them more than just $1,600 because for one child to go to the summer camp, it's $400. So yeah, so 1,600 only covered 4 kids, and there are hundreds of kids in the Las Vegas area who would like to go. So would definitely love to raise more money for them. I can't ask. But what else was that? The center, which helps with medical care, and a closet and a library for people to read books and study on different topics. Their library has books that are banned by the school districts. So, like Catcher in the Rye, Of Mice and Men, and the story of Anne Frank. Like, those books should not be taken out of schools. But it's nice that we have a space that has a library with those books for children who choose to read them, to learn a bit about history and hopefully prevent that history from being repeated. That is the ultimate reason for why we teach history, so we don't repeat ourselves. Hopefully we learn a lesson from those stories and from what happened in our past. So it's really sad that a lot of schools are taking those stories out. What's the other one? The Sin City Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. We raise money to help them out. They specialize in substance abuse and AIDS awareness. Like, they in Las Vegas, that hold the largest fundraisers for AIDS awareness. But then, like, as an organization, like, they hold meetings for substance abuse to help people break free from substance abuse. And that's something that's also a really big a big issue with society as well. Like, that fits in the line of mental illness and mental trauma. Again, not sponsored by them, but I really do like BetterHelp. As I tried 3 other apps before I got to them, and it was really easy to use. And again, there's like multiple people of backgrounds that you can choose from. So you can have somebody that's in the similar beliefs that you have to help guide you through your mental problems, concerns, mental illness, if that's so be a case. But yeah, they help you through it and help you cope. And then they help you get the prescriptions for the medication. So yeah, the BetterHelp app is really amazing. I started using them 2022, and then 2021. Started using them in 2021, and I switched because I picked a local therapist. So then I switched to actually seeing them in person because they're local. And that's the nice thing about the app. You can choose a local therapist, or you can choose a therapist outside of your city. So if it's a small community, you don't necessarily have the risk of gossiping or feeling awkward because you see them in the supermarket and you're telling them things that might be uneasy. Yeah, so BetterHelp is pretty awesome. Again, guys, Gigi Sparkle here. How's everyone doing? Welcome. Appreciate you guys hanging around. Thank you for sticking around, Shirley. Appreciate you. We're doing 35 more minutes of Q&A, to asking those hard questions about the transgender, non-binary, topics or concerns that you might have. And hopefully I can answer the question for you. We are trying to keep it in the PG-13 space because it is per TikTok's community guidelines for any live channel and for participants of the live channel to keep things PG-13. So I do ask you that you respect the community guidelines that you agreed upon. If it's something that's outside the PG-13 space, feel free to follow and DM me, send me the direct message. And if it's something I can answer, I'll gladly answer. If it's something I can't answer, I'll try to hopefully give you a resource where you can find the answer. How's everybody doing out there? What states do we have in the house today? So like I said, yeah, I'm out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. But I will be traveling. Yeah. So first stop is California, and that's late February. And then I don't know. I gotta double check when I go to Oregon. I think Oregon's in April. I know Idaho's in July. Utah. I gotta check when Utah is too. I think that's in May. I think Utah's in May. Then New Mexico, Texas. We have to go to Texas twice. I'll see you guys out there in Waco. We have to go to Waco. I think it's in November. I'll be heading out to Waco. And I go to Austin, Texas in August. Austin in August. I always think it's fun. And then Louisiana and Georgia and Alaska. I think I got them all. Oh, Arizona. We got Arizona. So lots of traveling this year. I enjoy traveling. It's nice to. I like planes. Planes are fun rides. I think. I know some people don't like it, but I enjoy riding the planes. But then I grew up with planes because my dad was in the Air Force. I really did grow up with planes. And if you guys hadn't checked out my profile, I was 31 Bravo in the United States Army. Served 8 years with the Army, and it was a lot of fun. I had fun. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people do it and don't really enjoy it. I had fun. Right now, my favorite spot is Austin. Like, I love Austin. It's so beautiful, and it still has that city feel. Oh, dang it. I always forget about San Antonio, though. Ooh. I just like different places, because Omaha is nice, too. But then, like, I love New Orleans. But my favorite city is always San Diego. But I love New Orleans. New Orleans is so fun, too. I can't wait. I should be going to New Orleans in April, hitting up Louisiana. Ooh, I'm so excited this weekend. This weekend's gonna be fun. I'm doing a show on Saturday, which is for the charity event and raising money for the charities. And then hopefully that night or Sunday, I'm going over to a country bar. That's always fun because I like country dancing. It's fun. The line dance is always so fun. And I hadn't done that. Ooh. The last time I did country dancing was 15 years ago. So this is gonna be fun. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I like traveling to those locations so far. That's why I go to Austin every year, and I go to New Orleans every year. I've been doing those for the past 3 years. Those are my personal stops. Well, Austin is business related, but still like kind of a personal visit because I just love going there. But New Orleans, that's all personal. That's all fun. I like to go in April for the jazz festival. Hello, how you doing, Coolio? Thank you so much. You're so amazing. Thank you so much for the flowers. Appreciate it. All the pretty roses. Thank you. Yeah, Louisiana. Love Louisiana. It's just such a fun town. And I like San Diego for the Gaslight District. There's a lot of amazing food down there, and at night it just looks really neat with like the fire gas lamps all across. Oh, gas lamp district, not gas lamp district. So yeah. And then that's right. That's what I was planning. So Monday hey. Actually, supposed to have a special guest on right now. Where's she at? That's all right. I can keep rambling. But what was I thinking? Monday, mental health. Monday, we're having a special guest. A certified therapist is going to come on, and she has an online quiz you can take to help identify possible childhood trauma, and then we can help you cope through it with some suggestions on how to get through this. So it's not going to be like an actual healing thing or anything like that, but it's a step to help. And what else is there? The 24th. Okay. So I guess saying something about doing things for my business so I get a lot of the money back. The 21st is gonna be super exciting. Business is kind of expanding. I'm joining another corporation, being a spokesperson for them. So the 24th, we're gonna do something extremely special. It'll utilize my GG Sparkle Live, but it's really exciting. So I can't wait to tell you all the details on the 24th of what's happening. But it does also include this space here with them allowing me to use their space for this special thing that's going to be a regular thing. I'm actually really excited. It's kind of cool, but there's a lot of, as they say, the red tape you get through. So a lot of fine tuning and details to cover before. So I'm a little nervous because we only have like 4 weeks to cover all these little fine details, and my brain's on fire just thinking of all these different things that we need to discuss with the lawyer team. I get the weirdest friends. So like I said, yeah, I'm here at the Goat in Las Vegas, 3805 West Sahara. It's a sports bar, and the bartenders are totally amazing. Jake's awesome, and my friend Devin's a bartender as well. She's a little cray-cray. I love her too. But yeah, all the bartenders here are amazing. And then they do have food here as well, because it's a sports bar. So you got the basketball games, football games, golf, all sorts of different sports, hockey. So if you're into sports, swing by, say hi. But shh, you might find a wild GG here. Bartenders give me flack because I've been here all day. Like literally since yesterday. We had fun. Like, this is a fun space to be. Like, out of class. Oh my gosh, I didn't even get to finish my story about being hit on. So on Monday, like, I had the bad experience. Last night, it was a semi-good experience. It turned bad. But this is why I don't date, and why I don't necessarily appreciate being hit on, because it just turns into problems. Because for some reason, some cis woman gets jealous, and she wasn't even dating him. It was kind of funny. The things that happen. So GG Sparkle. And I don't even care because I don't want to date. So it's so funny. Take care, guys. Love you guys. Bye.